Live. Okay. This morning we are live on Facebook, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, and morning, Peter.
Good morning. I can't see myself.
There's only a photograph on screen at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah. Morning, John.
Good morning.
Right. There's only a photograph on screen at the moment.
Okay.
I can switch to photograph if you like. How about this?
Oh, it's nice.
This was out on my walk yesterday, and I took 3 shots, and Google stitched the 3 together to make a panorama. I took that photograph. I can't believe it. It's not me, obviously. It's the camera on the mobile phone. But yeah.
It's nice.
Okay, so, and I'll take that off. We'll all appear on screen at the same time.
Yo.
All good. So, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the show. And this is Blabbing Forbidden, episode 345. And we have our first visitor of the day on YouTube. So it's nice to have somebody talking to us.
It's a bot, isn't it?
It is a bot. It is a bot, and it's just saying that it's on duty and watching. If anybody says anything naughty on YouTube, they will get sorted. Yeah.
So have they made changes to Be Live? Because in the bottom row, I can only see myself. Normally, I can see all your cameras and the two of you.
Peter, what can you say?
Just me.
Just you. Oh, okay.
It's only been this morning.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really a guest, so I don't know. That's weird. You can just see yourself at the bottom. You can't see anything.
Correct. Normally, we can see all inputs.
Right, but you can see the big screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But normally we can see, when you've got all 3 of your cameras on, we can look out the window, etc., in the bottom row. But now there's just ourselves.
Okay, we'd like to take a screenshot, please. Thank you. And then I shall see if we can find out what's going on. Also, if you like to refresh and see, but you've both got the same thing, so obviously something has changed. We may be catching it when they're updating something. So, but if you refresh, you might get the full picture. I do have things down in the carousel. I've got the 3 of us. I've got the photograph that's next to me. I've got the show card. I've got the penguins and the Quartz Garden video. So there are things there. Good morning. If you're watching it on Facebook and YouTube, do say hello. We welcome your comments. And where do we go first? Do we go to the Championship in football and Burnley or not? No, we'll leave
you've
that
gone down, haven't you? You were leading.
Yeah.
But you drew last night, so you're third.
We did draw against Birmingham, which is in normal circumstances a good result. But if you try and stay top of the league, you have to keep on winning. So yeah, okay. Did either of you feel? Sorry.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Does anybody ever talk to us on LinkedIn?
No.
Okay.
No, we just broadcast now. We do get people watching, but there are never any comments on LinkedIn. So if you're watching on LinkedIn, you can make the first comment.
Yeah, let us know if you're on LinkedIn, please, and chat to us.
Yeah, we won't be able to see the comments in the studio, but we can get to them afterwards. Yeah. Okay. Yes. What's going on at the moment?
I'll let you chat about that while I'm looking at LinkedIn to see if I can see what's happening. I'll look at it in my phone.
Right. We had, I mean, do you remember Yes Minister?
Yeah.
Yes, there was an episode out of Yes Minister. It really was. You couldn't script it. Yeah.
The letter was incredible.
Well, yeah. Basically that was somebody actually saying what they felt, and so she was pushed by Mr. Hunt and by Liz Truss, Suella Braverman, to actually leave the government, and she left because they wanted, in order to get satisfy the OBR, they've got to put together a statement which balances the books. In other words, we're actually going to be paying our way, and in order to do that, they've got to make cuts. In order to do that, they've got to stimulate the economy. So Liz Truss and Mr. Hunt came up with the wheeze of actually increasing the number of people who can actually come into our country, which is totally against what Suella Braverman's been trying to do for the last 6 weeks when she's been in a job. Because we now want people to emigrate to the UK and work here, apparently, this week anyway.
We want legal people coming here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Legal. And she's been trying to stop the illegal. Now, I'll tell you what I would do if it was me. You know what I'm going to say here, do you? So,
Not
right,
yet, Peter.
we're coming out of the European Court of Human Rights. You are not trampling over us when we make a decision. We are putting Article 16 in, or whatever it is, and we'll go our own way. You are still meddling with the way they do it. Now, why can't the British go and hire a place, a nice place, and make it British territory on a lease period and build accommodation there for people who come into the country illegally? What do you think of those points, guys?
We already have a place we could send them that's underpopulated compared with the rest of the UK. It's called Scotland.
Oh,
I don't think that. Yeah, because they're actually coming into England, John, to export them to Scotland doesn't seem reasonable. They actually want to be in England. If they wanted to be in Scotland, they would have sailed across to Scotland.
yeah.
But they don't know the difference, do they? Most of them don't understand the difference between Wales, Northern Ireland, Scotland, and England.
No.
They just want to come to this country because they know that they can get support.
Yeah.
Accommodation, they get free money, free healthcare, they get better accommodation than people who are on a waiting list. It is absolutely not fair. But and don't say I've got a swinging brick. There was a report yesterday about the RNLI, the men and women are stressed because women are throwing their babies at them from the dinghies. Here's the thing, don't go in the dinghies in the first place. Be parents who are looking after their children in France. You're in a perfectly safe country. Do not risk your children's lives by taking them in to the North Sea.
But I take your point, but the numbers, and while we get told the numbers that are coming across in terms of the population of Great Britain, they're very small numbers, and we seem to be taking a sledgehammer to crack a nut, and we can't crack it because people of their own free will are actually coming across the channel. We can't.
Why, Stephen? Why are they coming illegally?
Because they can't get here legally.
There must be a reason for that. They can't get here legally.
Because we've got an immigration policy.
Pardon?
Yeah, we've got an immigration policy.
Correct. Yeah.
And
we've got a policy, and we need to stick to it.
Yeah.
And if the government decides,
when I said send them to Scotland, by the way.
Yeah, I know. We know you were. You know. We know.
I know that. But
it's okay.
Oh, Nicola would open her arms to them. And then when they get here, just like they've got in the south border of America, do you know what they'd say? Now, here's a house, there's national insurance. Now, there's a day it'll come, it'll say, vote here. This is where you vote. Here.
And who for?
Sorry?
I said, and who for? Not just where you vote.
Exactly.
For.
Yeah. So,
65% of people want to go back into Europe.
what Guardian poll was that? Oh, sorry.
Didn't want to leave Europe.
Listen, guys, nobody's ever phoned me and said, Peter, what's your views on this? Where did they get these sample of people?
Well, have you noticed skin products, hair products for ladies? And they say 97%. And then when you look, there's only 102 people that they've sampled. So, you know.
Don't believe polls. There are people here in Scotland, and I've spoken to many people once we start chatting, right, who are scared to tell you who they vote for. And that is the truth. This is okay, Peter, we know the way you vote now. I actually agree with you. And you've
well, we all know that you're a conservative.
Yeah, well, hey, was a conservative. The way this party is going just now, do you know, if I was Liz Truss, she never got a chance. They wanted her out the door for that. I'll tell you what I would do. I'd bring you in and I'd just say, right, and this is the last thing I'll say just now because I'm on my head. I'll say, you scheming bleeps. Okay, let's see what happens now. Let's call a general election. Start packing your suitcases because you're not going to be here longer. That's what you wanted. Let's get it done. End of message.
I think our local idiot would get back in. So,
what says you, Stephen?
Or MP would as well. But things would definitely change. I mean, there is the Labour got a 30% lead in the polls, at least 30%, which would wipe out the Conservative
polls
Party.
and reality are usually poles apart.
Nice one, John.
Forget the polls. Here's a question I'll put to you. I don't understand. What is proportional representation? I was listening to Mr. Farage last night. He says, if we had proportional, he says we would have 88 seats in Parliament if there had been. Could you explain it to me?
Well, because the current is first past the post.
Yes.
Yeah? Whereas the number of MPs and proportional representation is about how many people are in the area, as opposed to first past the post and how many there. I'm sure you can find a video on your favorite YouTube channel, that'll explain it in full.
Right.
It's confusing, but instead of just voting for one person, you put your first preference, second preference, and third preference.
So that you're getting a fuller picture, I think, is the way they would describe it.
That's right. And then having voted for 3 people, all the votes are collated, and the person, the party with the most votes then decides who the MPs are going to be.
Right.
Okay. So rather than voting directly for the person, you're actually voting for the party, and the party decides who the MPs are going to be based on the percentage of the vote that they got. So if you had a vote and 50% were Labour, then 50% MPs would be Labour, 25% would be Lib Dems, of course, and the other 25% would be Conservatives, if that was the way the vote went.
Hang on, it's 15% Conservative at the moment, isn't it?
Did you know what I saw on TV?
Labour and 35% Lib Dems. At least that's what we'd like.
Right. Yes. I happened to see someone come up on Facebook. King Charles I, King Charles II. Do you know what they both done?
No.
Do you know what they done? Dissolved Parliament.
Right. Okay.
Now, sadly, they don't have the same power in this day and age.
Well, King Charles might come in and say, he might say, I dissolve this Parliament and I demand you put in proportional representation.
No.
He doesn't have the authority. That's the problem.
Why not?
He's a
He doesn't have the power. Yeah. Can't
In
do it.
their days, the first king and King Charles II, it was a feudal system.
Yeah, soon after, Peter, they rigged it in Parliament so it couldn't happen again.
Right.
Did you realise Suella Braverman was a KC?
Uh-huh.
Is that a King's Councillor? King's Councillor. They've changed the name.
Council, not councillor, council. King's Council.
King's Councillor. So that must have just changed the other week then.
No, they all went overnight, from
Oh.
QCs to KCs,
Yeah.
But I didn't realise that she'd actually got the legal background she has got.
Okay.
What I'm saying.
And you know, and I'm just not saying this, but do you know, the ones that are most militant about getting immigration sorted out are our coloured people.
That's a fair point, Peter. Yeah.
Sorry?
That's a fair point. A fair point.
Because they're not scared to speak out.
Okay. Now, we're going to have a vote now. And if you have to vote in favour of the resolution. Okay, so you've got to back the government. And if you don't back the government, then you're going to have all your privileges taken away from you. You won't be able to vote to remove Liz Truss. You'll lose the party whip.
So you're going to be tracked if you don't vote the right way.
That's what was said by the Conservative Party whips yesterday morning. If you don't vote for the government, then you lose the whip and all the privileges go with it. And an hour before, about the time of the vote, they said, no, you don't have to do that. You can do what you want. And 40 Conservative MPs did what they wanted, including Liz Truss, ironically, and didn't vote for the government.
Right.
So this morning, it's turned out that it was a 3-line whip. And if you didn't vote for the government, you face sanctions. So 40 Conservative MPs face sanctions today.
Well,
including the Prime Minister.
Including the Prime Minister for not voting for the government.
In which direction did the final vote go? For or against fracking? Does anybody know?
I think it was 4.
Yeah.
So I've heard all of us, but I actually haven't heard the result.
But that's why the whip resigned, but then said she didn't resign.
She resigned, but not resigned. She resigned for 2 hours, Peter.
Right. Now, this is what I believe is going to happen. Nigel Farage was asked last night on GB News, which I watched, which has been going on for over a year, just to let you know. Okay? Now, what was asked of him on a programme was, Nigel, are you willing to step up to the plate? He didn't say no and he didn't say yes. What he did say was, I couldn't do it on my own. I would need other people around about me to get it going. Now, I think there will be a breakup in the government, the Conservatives, and I think a third party will come in who are wanting Brexit done and dusted. And all those people, see, I'd be the one, if they said to me, Peter, if you don't vote, you'll be out. I'll say, no problem. See when I come back to fight you with another party. Bye. Cheerio. Be careful what you wish for. Ta-da!
Yeah, if you voted against your own party, what party would have you and could trust you?
A new party with principles.
No, this is politics. Principles don't play any part whatsoever, Peter.
I will tell you, when I was a soldier, that we paid for our own meals. A lot of people don't know that. A soldier pays for his own meals. And the orderly officer comes around with the orderly corporal, and he complains, and he complains, and he complains. And I went, yes, sir. And the knives and forks went down just like Oliver, bump. And that's when I knew that I can speak my mind.
Mhm.
And a guy come up and he says, I can't believe you've done that. Well done. So, if
And what did you complain about, Peter? I know it's a long time ago, but
it was the lack of choice. There wasn't very much there. What had happened is we celebrate the Battle of Waterloo, right?
Yeah.
And some of the chefs and everything, there was a big banquet that night. Okay, I didn't know if they used army rations for it, etc. So we got basically ham and chips and an egg. That was it. But I paid for my food. And I was brought in front of the sergeant. He said to me, do you realise what we are doing for tonight? I says, yeah, I do. Yes, Sergeant, yeah. And he says, so, I says, but do you know what I'm doing tonight? I says, I'll be on guard. And I'll have those crappy sandwiches you're going to give to me with hard bread. And I pay for my food.
Mm.
Do you know what they done? Guess what they done? They said, what would you like? And they made me a meal. Never harmed my career because I was a squadron leader. Well, I didn't have a career actually. I was a squadron leader gunner because I was top gun. I was top gun. Now, does that shock you?
Right. You paid for your food, Peter, but the Russian soldiers in Ukraine are actually paying for their armor.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. If they don't buy it, they don't get it.
But the British Army does the same. When we went on manoeuvres in Germany, the Sudring, it was called, it was a big, massive supermarket. The Sudring was full of soldiers buying their own equipment. Toilet roll, because the army give you 6 slices of shiny toilet roll. We went out and bought our own toilet roll. We bought boots with fur inside them. Okay? But the only one that got a big, heavy jacket to keep them warm in the winter was the tank commander. So we went out and bought our own jackets. It was like Fred Carno's army. We grabbed anything we could. So all soldiers do that. Did you know that?
I did not know, no. But on a related topic, it means at the moment, the Russians are repatriating, ethnic cleansing, whatever you want to call it, people from Kherson over into Russia. And they feel they're doing this because the Ukraine is about to retake Kherson, which is where your friend is, Peter.
He's still oh, excuse me, guys. He's still posting.
Right.
He's still
Okay.
commenting on pest control, whatever's happening. My friend says I haven't got an interpreter yet, but I'll have to keep in touch. I'll send him a message, say how you get, because what they're going to wait to do in Kherson is they're putting on a curfew.
Mm-hmm.
They're putting on a curfew, and that might mean people going out in the streets will be shot or arrested.
Yeah.
So, but
do you know whether he lives on the left bank or the right bank? Because that's a big difference. Because there's an awful lot of water between the two.
Yeah. Hi, Paul Jones.
Hello, Paul Jones.
Yeah.
Hello, Paul. We are well.
Yeah.
We are blabbing for Britain as usual.
Yeah. So basically, I'll get in touch with him in writing. He can actually write very well, so I'll get in touch with him on LinkedIn. He's usually hanging about, and I'll find out what's going to happen because I don't know. But don't you? You see, remember I always told you that I watch two sides, right?
Yeah.
I watch what's happening on Telegram, and I get videos from there, and I watch it from the Russian side, and I watch it from the Ukrainian side, and they're both giving out messages that they're winning. And you have to decide who's telling the truth.
Yep.
And remember, I always do that. and I look at both channels, and there's a guy in Australia called the Aussie Cossack, and he's very vocal, and he puts up videos from there, and they've tried to take him down, they've arrested him and everything. But you won't beat free speech, whether you're left, right, or centre.
Yep.
That's what I say. Listen to everybody.
Indeed. Try to. We've only got so many hours in a day. That's the problem, though. Okay, you know I subscribe to the Guardian, so right.
Yeah.
Okay, change of tack. Peter, this may be of interest. John, this may be of interest. But I just want to talk about this for a minute. If I can actually show it on screen.
Okay.
Fitbit Charge 5, which I've had for about 6 weeks now, and basically it's getting me fitter, because at 11:30 every morning I go out for a 90-minute walk, and this tracks me, but not in the normal way. I'm just going to share screen and show you the magic that happens. If I go to share screen, it should come up in a second, and I go to here and go to here. It's impressed me, so I thought I'd share it, because okay, this is my Fitbit dashboard. Okay, and as you can see, I got 8 hours kip last night, and 60,000 steps is the best I've done in a day. Okay, but if I rearrange things now, I'm going to try and let's go like that. I'll get rid of that. Okay, I want you to be able to see it. I think can you see it? Not read it, but see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This is my personal dashboard on Fitbit. You buy the Fitbit, everything I'm about to show you is free. But down the bottom here, it shows the number of steps each day. Okay, and this week I've done 5 miles on Monday, 5 miles on Tuesday, and 7 miles on Wednesday. But if I go here, the magic of the Fitbit is this. Okay, I've not done much walking today because, yeah, this. And this is my walk yesterday. And because the Fitbit, it'll take a second or two because I did walk a long way yesterday. Basically, because it's got GPS built in, I actually get the map.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't need Strava. I don't need anything else. I just need the Fitbit, and that basically has all the information about my walk. So it shows that I was down near the locks. I was actually I'm doing Couch to 5K with Sarah Millican at the moment. Yes, the Sarah Millican, and it tells me my pace. It tells me my cardio, my fat burn, and 13,443 steps. So nearly 7 miles, and it tells you how many calories you've spent and how long you're exercising for. And you can see as I go, if I just put this right, you can actually track me around the map as my pace varies depending on whether I'm going uphill, that's a minute, uphill or downhill.
Yeah.
And it's telling me how I was exercising and going up the locks, that's the blue bits, up to the top of the locks, and then turn right through town and then back home.
Very good.
Yeah. So I've been doing that, and I think that the fact that basically once you bought the Fitbit, everything I've just shown you is totally free. Yeah.
Can I ask a question about Fitbit?
Yeah.
What if you were to go in a van like me and travel about? What do you do to stop the Fitbit actually recording that bit?
You switch it off. Basically, you've got the app on your mobile phone, and you just pause it.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
you pause it. In fact, you can actually pause it on the watch. If I go here, you might not be able to see this, but you can see hopefully. Just a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a second.
Do you know? Yeah. Put it in front of your face, Stephen. Well done. That's it. It's looking good. Yeah. That's it off.
Right. Okay. So you can actually stop it on the watch and start it on the watch as well, or on the app.
You know what I would be interested in doing with a Fitbit? When I'm on stage, now that I'm going to be on stage more as such. I'd like to. Did you know what happened, John? I'll tell you. Did you see my
Off you go,
post?
Peter.
Right. So, have you ever doubted yourself? Did you ever feel that you had like this imposter syndrome? Have you ever done that? So for years I thought, wow, I can't remember the word they're singing, and it held me back. I put one post out, you maybe seen it, and I said, it's time I got some gigs now, singing gigs. And I went out the Friday night, and I met this singer who's been singing for over 30 years. And unfortunately, I went to the pub and there was only 5 people in the pub at the time. And he was singing, very well-known singer. And he said, this place is looking for a singer. So I went out and I told them who I was. I told them the truth. I said, look, I'm just getting back after 5 years. He says, okay. I went out and I was terrified. I was no bones about it. I was terrified. And I went out and I had a ball. I gave them everything that I had. I had young people dancing. I had old people dancing. We had a laugh and joke with my public training, speaking skills. And it was a fantastic night. And then he got in touch with me. He says, could you come in and see me? He says, we'd like to book you as like a resident singer. We'll give you three Saturdays out of 4. And I, wow, really? I says, that's really helped me. So I said, look, I'll do 2. Okay. And then what I've done is I'm away getting my photo taken. I'm getting stands. I'm getting a thing for in front of me, and I'm going for it now. And I've already put my name out, and I've already had some inquiries. I am scared no more.
Brilliant.
If you've got it, go get it. And that's what I'm going to wait. There's an echo, by the way.
There's a slight echo occasionally. It's not consistent, unfortunately.
Get that then.
And we're back. Yeah, well done, Peter. It is, I mean, it is, the imposter syndrome can happen to us all.
Yeah.
And you self-doubt, and it just you found you were just in the right place, right time, and that's disappeared. So
yeah,
good.
So the word's out, and so I'm happy about that. Again, with the business, I lost a good contract, so I've just went out and worked at it again and cutting costs and things like that. So don't sit and cry about it. Go and do something about it.
Indeed. Indeed.
Which
is what?
Garage, Pete?
Pardon?
Are you in the garage or the kitchen?
Yeah.
In the garage.
Yeah.
How come you're not wearing your winter uniform?
Say that again?
How come you're not wearing your winter uniform? You got your blokes to model it.
Did you like that post? Well, I tend to not advertise here as such, and I've got this warm thing up with a really good jacket. So I'm thinking of different things to put on LinkedIn without trying to sell, And I put that on LinkedIn. You'd be surprised who watches that, And I'm just thinking of different things. But there's a chap called Bob Gentle. Now, when did you last reach out to somebody? You've got 500 odd people that are in your LinkedIn and everything. I've started reaching out to people. Now, let me tell you about this guy, if you don't mind. Bob is gentle by name and very gentle by nature. Now, this guy was running a web-based company. He was making websites. He had 8 people employed. But he said, just before the pandemic, he was given marketing advice for one of them. And the guy says, you'd be better off doing the marketing. And that's what he done. He actually closed down his website division. And not only that, he moved to Glasgow. And he says, best movie ever made. And he's got clients all over the world doing marketing. And I said, well, congratulations to you. And that was a big step to get. And I remember when he done it, he just says, right, so these 8 people, right? But now he's making the same money when he had the 8 people. So if anybody's listening to this, sit down one day and look back and say, what am I getting out of this? No? What can I do to change this? And he's a very happy man. He's so laid back. And he says, you're quite a spontaneous character. I says, I know, but what could I do to make you jump up and down? He says, you won't. So well done, Bob Gentle. And he's got a podcast called Amplify.
Brilliant. You ever thought of doing a podcast, John?
Nah, it never appealed to me. I think streaming the way forward, personally.
Well, I think doing a podcast is easier than doing video because you don't have to appear on camera unless you do a video podcast, which is confusing because a video podcast is a video.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had goes at it with help from Chris de Boven. Chris was my audience, and an audience of 3, one of whom was Chris. And it's basically be able to sit down for half an hour and just get things off your chest, talk about anything you like.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised how many people do listen. Yeah.
I seen Chris on yesterday. Yeah. Chris was on yesterday talking about mics and everything.
Oh,
you see that?
Yeah. She's on a challenge. Broadcast every day. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she'd done 23 days consecutively in English and in Belgian. And then on day 24, Facebook refused to play and she couldn't go live. She had an error. Whatever she did to actually go live, it didn't work. So I do empathize, Chris, because it's broken, obviously, the continuous broadcasting every day thing through no fault of her own.
One platform, that's what I say. Because this guy said to me, Peter, with your knowledge and everything, you should try and do 5 minutes a day about pest control, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
And he says, and do it live. But the only place you can really do it, because to get into LinkedIn, what have you to do to go into LinkedIn to go live? You'd have to pre-record it, would you?
Just go live.
What, on LinkedIn?
Yeah.
Can I do
We're
that?
Live on we are live on LinkedIn now.
Yeah, but on if I was to open it up, can I go live me only on my own page?
Yeah. I
didn't know you can do that now. I thought you had to be vetted for it.
No, those days, I'm not going to say it, I shouldn't say it, I'll let anybody in. No, you can actually go live now. I mean, they did shoot themselves in the foot in the early days by not allowing people in, but you should be able to go live on your page, Peter. You should be able to either schedule a broadcast or just go direct. The way to do it is via, well, I mean, you can choose most of the platforms. Most of the platforms now have LinkedIn as an option, and you just authorize it and you go live on LinkedIn.
I'm going to open my LinkedIn just now, gents, while we're here. See if it comes up. See if I can go live in it.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, we should be.
Right. So that's me. And then what do? Post on my phone?
Yeah, and you should come up with the option.
It's got add a photo, take a video, use a template, celebrate, add a document, share your. It doesn't give you the opportunity to go live.
Okay, that case on Google, search for LinkedIn Live, apply, and you should find a.
Now, I've just pushed a button now. That's interesting. I've got a button at the bottom, right? A camera, right?
Yeah.
I'm pushing it. I'm going to see if I go live. No, right. Let me see. Right.
This is live, folks. Peter's going live on LinkedIn whilst we're live on LinkedIn.
Oh,
and John's watching us go live on LinkedIn.
I have been in LinkedIn for God knows how long. There's 79 notifications waiting.
Right. Really? Right. I'm going to go on again. Right. I don't know what. LinkedIn. Right. That's going on. And I'm going to. No, it's not giving me the opportunity to go to my own I'm on my own page now. Try premium. No, I'm not doing that. Right.
All right. Okay. We're
Okay.
actually live on LinkedIn at the moment.
Yeah.
I've got a. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, right. Okay. Actually live on my LinkedIn profile.
We're live.
Good. Picture looks good.
Am I live on yours?
No, well, there's four of it. The three of us in the picture are actually live on LinkedIn now on my page.
Right.
Yeah,
No,
except it's hiding behind my profile photo. My profile photo is covering John up, but I mean.
So I have to look up LinkedIn Live on Google.
Yeah, LinkedIn Live application, and you should be able to apply and then go live on LinkedIn.
Okay.
As we are at the moment. In fact, I can share the screen. Let's just show that we're live on LinkedIn. The technology we have these days, and go here, and go here. And what I could do is I could just go here and do this. There we are. We're live on LinkedIn. Okay.
Hello, LinkedIn.
Yeah. And that may or may not move. I don't know. And somebody's actually watching us over there, Peter. Can you see that number bottom top left? We're actually being watched. Wow. So we're going to say hello, LinkedIn. And thank you to our viewers on LinkedIn. We do appreciate you actually being there.
I'll go into LinkedIn and I'll keep an eye on that then.
They've all legged it now. There were people watching us until I said there were people watching us, and now they've all legged it.
Somebody's spying on me. Yes, I don't know. Right, I'll let you carry on.
Stephen, how much is a charge 5, which is what we started talking about?
Charge 5 is from memory, but it was yesterday. It was 125. And I mean, it's a one-off purchase. Everything I showed you is totally free, so you don't need to do anything. So that's Kelly, and Kelly's watching. You see, these people who watch us and don't say they're watching us, we think we don't have an audience, but we do.
He watches me, I know that much.
Also
and
watching
is there as well.
Zen Mice is here, better late than never, and Kelly's coming back and saying good day.
Oh, at least so.
Okay.
I put in. Is it up as Stephen Healy or Blabbing for Britain in LinkedIn?
No, it's my profile. It's LinkedIn / I was going to say link on Messenger, but you're in a different place on Messenger to where we are.
So what's Kelly's weather like today? Kelly, what's your weather like today?
Go on. Kelly's in Sarnia in Ontario.
I know.
And Zen Mice is in the UK with us.
Well, it's miserable here today. It's raining.
It's been pouring down this morning.
Yeah, it's been raining here too. I'm just looking. I made the comment. This says, "Come in and have a chat."
Right. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, Kelly keeps an eye on me.
Yeah. And Kelly's on Facebook. Okay, but we do know that there are people on LinkedIn, because when I put this on screen to begin with, next to live it had a number. Now we've thrown people off, so I'm going to stop sharing it.
We're being genuine British now. We're talking about the weather. Look, in Yorkshire, heavy rain.
Yeah.
You see, I done a. You know, I'm in my low carb. I done a video with Sheila yesterday, and I made my own wraps. Well, we made them together. Actually, it was good, and I put it on the video. So I quite enjoy doing that, and it gets a lot of views within that community. It's within a group, Facebook group, and that gets seen. So, as you know, I'm not scared to go on camera. I think you know that.
I think we do. I'm pretty sure we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Zen Mice is in
Yorkshire.
Heavy rain in Yorkshire. Over to Kelly, and Kelly is saying rain here and cold 3 degrees.
Right.
Okay.
The
I don't
King's
think
favourite pop group.
yeah.
Who's that? 3 Degrees. Yeah.
Great.
When will I see you again? Yeah, I know that. Yes.
Still seems strange saying king instead of queen.
I know it
It's
is.
going to take a while, isn't it?
Do you know what I'm doing again just now? I'm actually watching the whole series of The Crown again.
All right. I'm going to. Yeah. All right. Okay. And what do you think of it, Peter?
It's we are enjoying it, right? But you try and work out which bits are true. Now there is fiction in it, obviously,
Yeah.
you know, but they can only look at history and work things out, you know, unless somebody's grasped them up. The next one is going to be a problem because the people are the people are still there.
Yeah, they're still alive. Yeah.
And seemingly there was talk at one time that it's meant that they're saying that Prince Charles at the time was talking to John Major to try and get the Queen to step down. That's what they're talking about, right?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So it's and the big one was when King Charles, or when he was Prince of Wales, he didn't do the speech that he was meant to do. He changed it. Were you aware of that?
Nope.
And Her Majesty brought him in and says, I had that transcribed. And I've got a feeling that may be why she didn't give up till her dying day. It's really worth a watch.
True.
It's quite interesting.
She's well. This is Blabbing for Britain, episode 345, UK News Review, which means, Zen Mice, that we've actually been doing this for nearly 7 years. And with the odd exception, we have gone live at 10 a.m. on Thursday for nearly 7 years. So would you guys consider a different time slot? John's giving you the answer.
Not now. Not now.
No.
No.
Okay. 17 on Saturday. Well, it's raining today and tomorrow. I can't do anything about that, but it's going to be fine on Saturday here, Kelly, which is important because at 9 o'clock, Angelica and I will be doing our third park run. Looking forward to it as well. Yeah, I'll come back to that in a second. Over to Zen Mice, who's saying my favourite drama is the UK government. Yeah, well, we were saying earlier that it's like Yes Minister. It's really, you couldn't make it up at the moment. And I think Major has staunchly denied the events depicting the Crown. Yeah, I mean, there's sort of what I've heard, Peter, is that the Crown is not exactly true to life. Okay. Yeah, Saturday, 9 o'clock in Melksham is our third park run.
Have you? Yeah. You know what? I'm away to Glasgow Friday to Monday. I'm taking 2 friends with me. And they says, are you going on a bike? It goes, yeah, so are you. If you're watching. So we're going to go about in bikes and during the day I'll say it's okay, but we're in the city centre and I says, I'll take you out on the bikes and we'll visit places and they've got the Transport Museum, they've got a lovely park, there's a lot of things in Glasgow. And then we'll hit the bars at night or mid-afternoon, you know. And I've never been a guy's day out for a long time, you know, just away with the girl. I've never done it. And the laugh at us, 2 of us are teetotal. We don't drink. So we're not going to get. But my other friend, he makes up for it. But he's going to be in a bike as well. That'll be fun. No, we'll do it at night. Staunchly denied the events. Okay. Now, what I am watching, have you noticed that King Charles hasn't given any titles to Harry and Meghan's kids yet? Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that? Right. Now, with Netflix, something's been delayed for a year. And we're also waiting for the book. There's a book waiting to be published. And then when that comes in, I think King Charles is going to make a lot of changes just shortly.
I think it's going to be a lot less royals or working paid royals.
Yeah. Yeah.
A
And
slimmed down monarchy.
yeah. It's
Right.
quite
Okay. Quick shout out to Mr. Vincent Company.
cool.
Well played, well played, sir.
Ah.
I mean, Burnley at the top of the league for a few days. And Blackburn Rovers are there as well. I mean, one of the greatest rivalries in East Lancashire football is Burnley versus Blackburn. The fans just don't like each other. So there's been a battle royal while we were in the Premiership and Blackburn weren't. And now we're both in the Championship and we're both top of the league. Go figure.
So when you get fracking, because that happens in Lancashire, you're all going to fall apart, aren't you? With the big earthquakes that's going to knock everything away.
You're going to fall into big pits.
No, the fracking's over in Blackpool, isn't it? Blackpool area.
It is in Files, yeah.
Yeah, you say it's about 40 miles away from Burnley.
But that's only test sites, isn't it, really? A
Right.
Norwegian model.
The Norwegian one, that comment, right?
Yeah.
But do you know what bit of Netflix? I'll just quickly tell you. What's happening with the government right now, the Liz Truss, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm at exactly the same bit with Maggie Thatcher. She's getting, in part of the series just now, this is where she's getting stabbed in the back. It's quite interesting. It's happening. The same thing is happening to Liz Truss.
But it's taken weeks for Truss to be stabbed in the back, and it took many, many years before Maggie got stabbed in the back.
Yeah, well, yeah. But I don't think she's been given a chance personally, you know. And they can't get rid of her for a year.
Yes, they can. They can get rid of it today, Peter.
How?
According to party rules, no. According to practicalities, yes. She can go today because she can fall on her own sword. And if I was in her position, I'd do that. I would resign. She's trashed our economy, Peter. People are going to be paying £500 more a year mortgage because of actions she took.
Well, if it was me and I'd bring them in one at a time. Are you with me? Are you not with me?
Well, you've got 350 to go out. Apparently, the 1922 committee, which is the committee that brought about the downfall of Boris, have received over 100 letters so far from Conservative MPs saying she's got to go. She doesn't need to ask. She's been told that she's not wanted. I mean, 60% of the MPs didn't vote for her. They didn't want her. Yeah, they wanted Richie Sunak. Yeah, and that she's been voted. We have a population of 70 million. 60,000 people decided she should be Prime Minister. Doesn't add up.
See, I think no, that should go for a general election. General election, and if
They're never going to do it because it's a guaranteed loss. So it's not.
It doesn't matter. I would do it. I'll say I've had enough.
It's Turkey. It's Turkey's voting for Christmas, Peter, because they would lose.
I'll say to the MPs that didn't back me, this is what you really want. Let's see what your constituents say to you. And if you let Labour in, I'll point to each one of you and say, you're to blame, you're to blame, you're to blame. Get Labour in. Now, the point is, what are Labour going to do, do you think?
But if when they chucked out our fizzy-haired friend, we'd gone for a general election then, the Conservatives would have lost it then. So, you know, it's not just Truss, is it?
If Truss goes.
May's coming back? No, I don't think so.
Boris, can he put his name in the hat?
Yeah, of course he can.
Yeah.
Just.
It's a pantomime.
Is Boris really that bad? Because what's replaced him is catastrophic by comparison.
Yeah.
There's too many snakes in the grass. That's the
Not
problem.
enough grass, Peter. That's a bigger problem.
Sorry?
Basically, single-handedly, well, with the help of her friend, the Chancellor, ex-Chancellor, she's screwed the country in a short space of time. It doesn't take
I don't
much.
think anybody else would have done any better, to be honest with you.
Well, the whole thing is, it's all revolves around a balanced budget. In other words, you try not to spend more than your income.
Yeah.
And she sat down with the ex-chancellor and said, we can spend what we like. We can print money. We can do this, that, and the other. And we're just not. Yeah, and that's what screwed the whole market. Because when you tell somebody, okay, give me £1,000,
Yeah.
Now I'm not working for the next 2 years, so I can't pay you back.
Yeah.
That's what's happened.
But
Yeah.
I'll remind people of a chancellor when they went in and they changed places. And the last thing the outgoing chancellor says, there's no money left. I've spent it. Who was that?
Yeah.
I don't know, 55 Tufton
It was
Street.
a Labour guy, because the Labour lost, and it was what, 11, 12, 13 years ago?
Yeah.
Bring back Ken Clark. That's the answer.
These hush puppies. That's what they said.
Whatever you
Just
say,
remind
was the
people.
most sensible chancellor we've had in donkey's years.
There's no money left, it said. Ha ha ha. Best of luck. Because Labour had spent it all.
Yeah, and there we are, an explanation, Peter. It was extra borrowing to grant tax breaks to the rich, which was a big part of it.
And lots of the rich said they didn't want it. So it's quite interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, look at me. I'm now employing 3 people.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a
Yeah.
lot
So
of
you're the ultra rich CEO then?
Aye, bloody aye, that'll be right. On minimum wage. My staff get more than me.
Yeah, the joys of owning a company, Peter. It ain't
Business for
not
sale.
easy by any stretch, and you get to the stage where, okay, my guys are doing a great job. I'm going to pay them for doing that great job.
Yeah.
And then you look at what you've got left and you think, what am I doing this for?
And when I started 23 years ago, I said there'll only be me and only ever be me. And that's still the case today. Because I watched one of my really good friends take 11 people on and lose his house. So, you know.
Here's one thing always remember. You know, people can be snarky. The minimum wage went up a few years back. And the guy put to me, ha ha ha. You'll have to give them more wages. I says, no, I'll have to take them down actually to the minimum wage. How do you like that one? You know?
I'm interested in what a neo-lib is.
All right, find that out.
I'm a Lib Dem voter, as is Stephen.
Neoliberal.
Neoliberal.
No. Versus traditional conservative. Do you know, I wouldn't Maggie Thatcher back. She would have sorted. Do you know what words I liked the other day from Maggie Thatcher? It says, they're all weak, those Europeans. Weak! They would have handed it forward.
Just talking about that, we're heading towards a general strike, Peter.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm worried when the nurses go out. That's the real sign that think country's falling apart.
Yeah, I mean, this is a totally separate issue from the government shooting itself in the foot every day. The unions have basically got good cause. Well explained good cause, because the people who are speaking for the unions these days are far better than the politicians who are trying to rein them in. Yeah, they're able to explain in plain English what's going on. And
my Alice, as you know, is nursing staff. She's not at work this week. She's on strike. She's tested positive for the 3rd time.
Oh my God. Wow.
She works on a COVID ward, mate. It's almost inevitable, isn't it?
I've got a question for you guys. Have you bought candles yet?
What for?
Why?
When the power goes out.
Well, the power rationing is 3 hours a day when we won't have power.
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy a candle for life, but I now have a
Yeah.
number of these.
Turn your back.
spread
We
around
can't
the
see a
house.
thing. We can't see a
That's
thing,
it. We
John.
see it. We know. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an battery LED lamp.
Right. Okay.
And interestingly, Peter, you can charge your phone off it as well.
Okay. We started with politics. We ended with politics, which is the way it is at the moment. And over
Oh my
to
gosh, we've overrun.
Wow.
blackouts are due. Yeah. On that happy note, we've just got to keep a watch on what's going on. John, it's over to you.
So it's goodbye from me. It's goodbye from him above me. He was in Scotland, but he might not be above me in your screen. Him up over there. He's in Wiltshire, so it's goodbye from him, and it's goodbye from me in the centre of the country, and Pretty View on the right's also saying goodbye. So same time, same place next week, and that's the reason we don't want to consider another time slot, is because everybody knows this is when we're on Thursday at 10 for 1 hour.
Yeah, Kelly's saying goodbye, have a good day. And for anybody who's been wondering, the picture down below is Devizes in Wiltshire. It's the scene of a battle in 1643, Cavaliers versus Roundheads. The Royalists won the day. A cannonball was misdirected and hit St. James's Church, and the pockmark is still in the wall. So historic place, Devizes, Wiltshire. Beautiful and sunny yesterday, cloudy today.